My name is Vicky Luchetti. I'm Director of Construction Planning and Development with MIMA, and I've been with MIMA for 12 years. About 5 years ago, we started on the process of identifying a partner that we could work with through this process. One of the important things for us was that we needed somebody who could work with us from start to finish, so we decided to go with a design-build team. There were a lot of dominoes that had to fall into place in order for us to accomplish what we needed to. We had multiple leases that were going to expire at different stages, and no one wants to be stuck with redundant leases. So it was very important for us to find a team that understood that we had to start at the back end, identify our end date of when we needed to be out of the facilities, and then help us develop the correct timeline to start the project from planning, zoning, design, finally into the construction, and be complete so that we didn't fail on our obligations with our current lease. So it was going to be terminating at a certain point. We weren't likely to have them allow us to continue with the lease when we were moving out of their buildings. So timing was crucial for us. Much to my surprise, one of the lengthiest portions of this entire process was the actual design of the building. It takes a lot to put into a 200,000 square foot building. A lot of thought and effort has to go into that. And one of the unique challenges that we tasked Cogdell Spencer Erdman with was that the building couldn't be over 200,000 square feet. Once we got to that 200,000 square foot mark, we tripped a transportation impact fee in our community that tremendously affected our finances. So we gave them all the things that we needed, and it would have been easy for any company to keep making your building get bigger and bigger. But one of the amazing things when we worked with the Cogdell Spencer Erdman team was that they were able to understand that all the things we kept asking for and then changing our mind and asking for more had to still fit in to the footprint of a 200,000 square foot building. And they did a remarkable job of staying within the guidelines that we had to set and being very unique in their thought processes and very creative. And I think they worked like with jigsaw puzzles in order to get this building to all come together and function as well as it does. Now that MIMA has had the opportunity to occupy the building and get a pattern to our everyday activities and operations, we've been able to recognize all of the hard work that went into the planning and design up front has really paid off on the back end. I can think of the countless hours that they made us talk about where does the door go, where does the light switch go, how do you navigate down this hallway. But when you realize that all that work up front has created this really functional building, and we've enjoyed it so much since we've moved in, we have found that it is extremely a beautiful building. It's very aesthetically pleasing. We picked finishes that would be durable, and you don't want durability to overshadow the comfort of the building. And we think we were able to pull it off really well. It was important to us to use things like wood tones and earth tones and things that would be maybe what somebody would see in their home. So you don't walk in here thinking you have a very sterile environment and you feel overwhelmed by the clinicalness of a big facility like this. Instead, we have a ton of natural light, we have warm tones, we have wood tones, and we have things that we think are going to be timeless for years to come. MIMA has a very extensive radiology and diagnostic center, and one of the things that was very important to us was partnering with a team of professionals with Cogdell Spencer Erdman that were able to help us identify the uniqueness of each room. And during this process, we had developed that each vendor was very specific on their construction documents, and we worked with people like GE, Siemens, Philips, Fuji, so we had a whole bunch of different manufacturers all coming into one space, and all of them had their different various specifications. One of the things that we tried to identify early on was the type of equipment exactly by the model that we were going to choose. So one of the things that was so fabulous with working with the professionals at Cogdell Spencer Erdman was that they helped us to identify the size of the room, and then as we developed through the years of planning, get more specific as time went on. So because we were unable to tell them exactly which model we wanted, we made sure we did the right thing and made the room big enough first. So we looked through, they scoured the market to see which piece of equipment was the largest that we could possibly choose from, then designed that room to that size. And then as long as we were smaller, we could at least fit into the footprint. As we get closer to the end of the construction, then they worked on the fine details from the trenching of the floors for the electrical needs and the air conditioning needs. So all of that came together perfectly. Every piece of equipment fit exactly how it was supposed to, and everything was up and running on the time frame that we set. When MIMA decided to take on building of its own facilities, it was very important to us to find the right partner to go through this whole process with us. We spent a very extensive time searching nationally for which company would match our needs. And one of the most impressive things that we found with Cogdell Spencer Erdman was their breadth of experience, as well as the fact that the people who worked at Cogdell Spencer Erdman had been there for many years. So they had seen a multitude of different types of projects and different sizes and complexities, and we felt that their experience would help us to pull our vision together. And early on we had asked them, don't agree with everything we ask for, because we really don't even know what it is we need. We're going to need you to guide us in that direction, and they did a fabulous job of keeping us on task, allowing us to recognize this fabulous building and be able to enjoy it for years. One of the important things to us also in designing this was it had to meet our needs of today, but it also is designed to serve the newest physician that we just hired. So 20 years from now, we hope to see the last physician we just hired still working here and still finding this building to be functional.